Hey, 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 everybody. How is everybody doing today? I've got the lovely Becca here. Becca, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, hi friends. My name is Becca. I am an author tuber here on YouTube, so I have my own channel. I'm currently working on the I don't even know. I'm revising for my third draft. So I finished draft 2. I guess I'm like revising draft 3, I guess. Of my 90s East Coast Autumn ghost story, and very excited to be here with Charlie. This is the second time we've streamed, and you are just such a delight. So I'm happy to be
Oh,
here.
thank you. I appreciate it. So are you. Love watching your videos. Like every single time they come out, the way I like spawn to the video, like, I'm just like, yes, Becca's put on a new video. I love it so
Oh,
much. And I guess I'll just introduce myself. This is my channel. Hello. I'm Charlie, and I'm going to be drafting words today. It's a very busy day for me today, moving stuff. But we are going to make it work and we're going to get some work done. Everybody, let us know what you're working on in the chat. We've got Ian here. Hi, Ian.
hi, Ian.
Ian, are you still working on book 6? What are you working on? Let us know. Um, I think I like to just jump in and get started on like a sprint right away. How do you feel about that? Like, are you ready to go?
I love this. So efficient.
Well, give us an opportunity for some more people to kind of filter in and everything so we can talk and have like a good conversation and stuff. Um, Ian is prepping 5 for the editor. Awesome sauce. Sounds very exciting, Ian. Hopefully you get some. Oh, chili. You're making chili. I love chili, Ian. It's like my favorite food. I make it like every like 3 months or something like that, like just a big batch. Hi, Carrie. How are
Hi.
you? What are you working on?
I feel like
Um,
chili is like the perfect fall food. Like I started making it last year, and I still need to like tweak my recipe, but it's so good. It's like it's so easy and like comforting.
yes,
So good.
it is. My mom has this chili recipe that she like entered into a contest and she won the contest. It was like when she was younger, and we used that chili recipe. I still make it today. She told me like all of her secrets. It's like the easiest recipe, and I just like it makes enough for 10 people, and I just like freeze it so I can have chili whenever I want. But
Mm.
I'm really weird and I won't eat chili with a spoon. I literally cannot. I have to eat it with
With
saltine.
a
Like
fork.
no, I use saltine crackers as my utensil.
You know what? I will give you that. I will give you that.
It's like the
I will give
only
you that.
way. It's the
I
only
put
way.
oyster crackers in mine. Like
Yeah.
cuz I eat it with a fork cuz I don't like something about my teeth and a spoon. Like I just can't. Um but yes, with a saltine, incredible.
Yeah. Have you ever tried it? This might be just like a total Midwest thing, but have you ever tried chili with cinnamon rolls? Like dipping your cinnamon roll in the chili?
No, but I am a fan of like sweet and savory. So I
You should
feel
try it.
like this might be up my alley. I'm not even going to scoff at that.
You should really try it. It's actually like it sounds wrong, but it is so good.
You know where I think I've heard that before. I think I was watching Royal Court with Brittany Broski and Caleb Heron, and he recommended because he's from Kansas, I think, and he said the same thing. I think they eat chili and cinnamon rolls.
Yeah, it's really good. It is actually really good. Like it's a weird combination.
Yeah,
It's like
a hundred
it's like
percent.
French fries and mayonnaise. Like that's I love French fries and mayonnaise. Like people always look at me weird when I do that, but it's like it's apparently a European thing. And
Mm.
like they use aioli for theirs,
I
but
love
it's like
aioli. Yeah.
similar. It's similar sauce. Anyways, we've got let's not talk too much about food because I haven't had breakfast yet, and I have a long day ahead of me. I'm not sure when I'm gonna eat. I don't
You
want to
do.
starve myself before, like, get myself hungry before I have to do all this work. So,
Correct.
Carrie's good. Working on draft 2 of their urban fantasy. Awesome. That sounds like an interesting project. Hi, Ari.
Hi.
Thank you so much for popping in.
My love.
Hi, Nicole. How are you? Thank you for stopping by. And then we've got Miles. Hello. What are you working on today? And Kingston's here. Can't stay either. Nice to see all of you again and hope you're doing well. I'm doing great. Tired, but I'm here. So, all right. I think I'm ready for a sprint. How do you feel, Becca?
Let's do it. I'm ready.
Let me just figure out if I remember how to work Focus. Because for some reason, it's like one of those things I always forget how to navigate.
It's the screen share. It's the start. Listen, there's many steps. Many steps.
All right, we're gonna get this going. All right, everybody, 3, 2, 1. Good luck.
What a way to end a sprint.
Okay.
Oh, I think you're muted.
Oh, am I muted? Hold on one
There you
second.
go. There you go.
Okay. Did the sound go off?
For a second.
Okay. I think maybe I accidentally muted my computer.
Nice. Okay.
I think that's why. Because I literally couldn't hear anything. Okay. How did you do?
Good. I don't know if I mentioned this at the beginning. I'm rereading what I revised of my chapter 1 before I send it off to 2 of my friends to read, and happily I'm happy. I'm still making changes, but I'm happy with it. So it was good. How about you?
So, yeah, I struggled a little bit to like get into the zone, to be honest with you, and fair enough. I got 353 words, so not bad for like struggling to focus a little bit. I'm curious to know how everybody else did in the chat. Like, let us know how you were doing, and if you have any questions for us, let us know. Also, if you want to share last lines, I'm going to share my last line that I wrote. Kai's eyes darted towards the noise, just as a dozen infected emerged from the shadows. That's my last line.
Love. You're getting pretty close to like the Dark Night of the Soul, aren't you? So shit should be kind of hitting the fan.
So actually, I think I might have actually passed that part.
Oh.
I'm now in like the part where they're like, okay, so they've had a big confrontation. I'm trying not to give away too many details, but my 2 main characters, Kai and Alyssa. Kai was like hiding something from Alyssa, and that secret has like come to light, and not in the best way. And so Alyssa, I feel like that was kind of the Dark Night of the Soul, where they were just like, they didn't want to like work with each other anymore. Like they're mad at each other, they're angry, and like they feel like kind of all hope is lost in this moment. And then like I finally managed to like bring them back together, and now they're like off to do like the last major confrontation situation before I like wrap things up. I'm not exactly sure if I'm following like the right plot structure, because obviously I'm pantsing this. So I don't know. I don't know. But I'm thinking I'm hitting all of the plot points. I'm not sure if they're like happening in the right spots though, if that makes sense.
I mean, structure's there like for guardrails. You can really do whatever you want.
True. They're like on a journey through so the story is set in New York City, but like in the future, and parts of New York City are like they have like restricted areas where like you aren't allowed to go because either there's like people who are still suffering from like previous pandemics that they've had, or like it's just dangerous, like because they've had like bombings and natural disasters, so like some of the buildings aren't livable, and there's just like a lot of challenges to like living in this part of the city. So they're in the restricted section or zone right now. I'm thinking like Harry Potter stuff. They're in the restricted zone. I'm not sure if that's exactly what the name is going to be, but anyways, and they've like sort of wandered into this part of the restricted zone where there's like infected people, and it's like trying to avoid them to like so that they don't get infected with this thing, because there's like no cure treatment for this particular one. And they're like trying to find their way through this. Like it's the only way to get through to where they need to go to do the final confrontation, because they can't go into the city because they're being hunted by something else. So it's like yeah. Anyways, that's that's what's happening. Looks like we had some other people come in. Hi, Jasmine. I don't know if you're still here, but hello. if you are. And Tanya stopped by. Hi, guys. I'm doing house chores today, some of which will be at the desktop, so later I might properly participate. Awesome. Happy to have you here. I actually did have a question for you, Becca.
Okay.
Would you be able to tell me, like, do you have any specific rituals or habits or anything that like helps you get into the writing zone?
Oh, I think it's nuanced because it depends on what phase of like the writing process I'm in. When I was drafting, and this is why I think I've become a little bit more of a planner.
Mm-hmm.
I would have like my beat by beat outline, and then I would have like a chapter by chapter, but I wouldn't really get as granular as like scene stuff. I would leave myself to like play around with. So I would like, if I knew I wanted to sit down for a drafting session, I had a notebook dedicated to the project where I would literally just write down, okay, I have an hour, I'm going to work on this scene. This is everything I want to hit in the scene. And then I write it out. So I would kind of like, I would look at the framework that I wanted to put before actually starting to put it on the page.
Mm-hmm.
And that was so helpful because I felt like I'm a firm believer that like, I don't think, like, even if I end up cutting a scene or something, like, I don't think it's wasted because it helps me figure out if it works or not, like if that's the direction that I want to go in or not. So like having like a 10-minute, like almost warm-up session of just like writing things down. I'm not being intimidated by a blank screen or anything like that. That has been really helpful. Also finding the right tunes. I have to listen to something like while I'm working. It's usually like, it started off with lo-fi, but now I really like, it's called vaporwave. It's like this really like almost brown noise, nostalgic. I think it'd be kind of good music for drafting for Project Daydream. I feel like the vibe is there. But yeah, I have to have tunes and I have to have a little bit of a warm up.
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah. So that helps.
Very, very cool. I think like the warm ups definitely help, at least to just kind of get like, especially if I feel like it helps would help, especially if you're not plotting too, because like it kind of helps to get the like where you want to go out, so you're not thinking of it on the spot. Definitely helpful. I've done that before actually, and it was really helpful for me too.
I have a question for you, if you don't mind.
Sure.
Okay, because this is something that I've been like running into as I'm working on revisions. Have you ever had a problem where, or not a problem, but like just run into this obstacle of like, okay, my character is supposed to be this way. This is how I've structured their backstory. This is how I have them developed on the page, like on my notes. And then you actually get to writing them and they are completely, like they legitimately take on a mind of their own.
Yes. That happens.
I'm running into that. My main character is supposed to be this like very anxious, nervous, kind of like side-eyeing everyone. Tell me why I have him literally confronting everyone. He's like has like such an attitude, and I'm like, where the is this coming from? Like, I didn't.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, when that happens, I kind of have to go back and rethink. And like take this for what you will, obviously. Like all writing advice is like subjective, and I'm not saying that this is the right way to do it, but like for me, when I run into that problem, if I have a hard time getting unstuck from that, then I usually go back and try to figure out if maybe their personality that I've envisioned for them is the right way to go about it. Like I like to say, okay, if this is what you want, why is that the case? And just kind of maybe try to work with them a little bit more. Instead of like forcing them into like to do something that they're not wanting to do, if that makes sense. I don't know.
It does. Well, and I think it's like it's hard for me sometimes because I know what he's supposed to be like at the end, and it is very much that.
Mhm.
So, and I think because I just finished that version of him when I finished draft 2, it's still fresh in my head. So it's like, yes, you're supposed to be like that, but like not yet. Like,
Yeah.
chill out. So, or actually, no, you need to be way more anxious. We'll get to the chill stuff later. But yeah, it's always so interesting. It's not something that I ever really like thought of before when I was drafting. Like I never felt like I had that problem. My characters for this book are so they really do have a life of their own, which is
Yeah.
really cool, but also kind of a little difficult sometimes.
Yeah, it can be really hard because like they're meant to be one way in your head, and then they decide like I don't want to work with you on that, and they just
Yeah,
like
and they're
take
like, actually no.
yeah. It's just like what do you want? What do you want to do? Yeah,
Mhm.
I get that 100%. I do struggle with that a little bit myself. This project that I'm working on right now, though, I'm having an easier time with it, but I think because I'm writing in dual perspectives, I sometimes think like transpose their personalities a little bit.
Mhm.
And so
Mhm.
like especially if I'm like working on one perspective and in the same day switch to the other perspective. If I do
Yeah.
that, then it's really easy for me to be like cuz Alyssa is more confrontational and like to the point, and Kai is more reserved and kind of like shy in his
Mhm.
like expression. And yeah, I find that when I switch midway, they become the other person. It's hard.
Yeah. I think I ran into that as well. It's so interesting with my draft too when I was rereading it. It felt so empty to me. And it was because I my number one thing with that draft was just to like give it story structure and tell it to myself in a way that draft 0 just did not do. So I'm reading and I'm like, this has no depth, this has no punt. Why? Because I lacked characterization and conflict. So like now that I'm going back and adding all that stuff back in, I'm like, oh, okay. So like I get it. I just had to get through it this way first, so I knew where to add that stuff in. My
Mhm.
hope is that as I progress as a writer, I get a little bit better at doing that stuff more from the get go. But I had that problem too with like my two main characters where I'm like, these they read exactly the same. There is no difference between the two of them. It was kind of on purpose.
Yeah, it's a struggle. I you know, I told my friend Holly this the other day. My friend Holly is also a writer. She's like my only in person writing friend that I have. We were talking about our stories, and I was telling her this is like not really the same thing, but
Mm-hmm.
sort of similar. Like I just realized like I'm like almost done with this first draft, and I realized like literally just like last week that I only have two characters. Like all of my like I've got like the two protagonists and there's two antagonists. So I technically have four characters, and then there's one person who is um like she's dead in the book, like from the beginning,
Mm-hmm.
basically. That like my main character Alyssa, there's like flashbacks for her where that character plays a role, but other than that there's only two, like there's not enough variety, if that makes sense. Like I'm gonna have to go back in and add secondary characters. And like I'm just thinking about this, like how do I do that and make their personalities distinct from like the main characters? Like what is it missing? I think I won't really know that until I get to like second round revisions or whatever. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but like I could see the like where you're saying it's like kind of like monotone or like one note personality.
Mm-hmm.
And that is an even bigger problem when you only have two characters.
Yeah.
So it's just like, oh my gosh. Yeah, right?
Well, and like for me too, like I'm like this town is supposed to be a character. So like the location itself, the setting is a character, but then there's all of these like it's the people of the town that also give it that flavor. And I'm like, I have nothing there. I have nothing there. So like, and then once I was panicking because I'm like, I don't have nearly enough conflict. And then once I started like, oh, there's all these avenues that I have yet to open because I've been so focused on just what is the story, that
Right.
then once you start opening those doors and you're just like, oh, okay, like it's here. It's just like, it's so much to think about.
It
It's
is. It
so
really is.
much to think about.
Yeah, it really is. And like, can you imagine like Stephen King, for example, like how many he
Mhm.
puts out a book a year or something like that, which is insane to me. Because like how I can't even write a first draft all the way through once without
Mhm.
like this sucks, let me start over. How do you do it a million times? Like I just I mean like I cannot wrap my mind around it,
Mhm.
how much work it actually is to write a book. It's so much
I will
work.
also like, as I'm working through this one, um my husband's like, he knows some of this stuff. He doesn't really love to read. And I'm like really toying with the idea of like an anthology.
Mhm.
So like there's a florist in town that I'm really loving the idea of her being a witch. She's like this beautiful single older woman.
Yeah.
Um and so this one's like a ghost story. Would love to do like a witch. I don't know. I As the secondary characters start coming in, I'm just like, oh, I like your backstory. Can we expand on that a little bit? And then I get myself in trouble. So
I think that that's a cool idea though. Like I feel like you could do a lot of things with that and just like keep the storyline like you can I feel like there's like a certain amount you can veer off from the main storyline without it being too much,
yeah,
you know? I'm interested to see how that plays out for you in the end though. Like I can't wait to read your book, honestly.
we'll see. We'll see. Speaking of which, should I share some lines? I can share a line. I'll
Yeah,
share the
please
opening
do.
line. Okay. Um. Oh God, why'd I offer that? Every time I do that, then I get real nervous about it. Okay.
That's so real.
I also hate my own reading voice. So okay. Smothered by yeah. See immediately now. Smothered by miles of fiery maples and golden pines lies a town nearly as old as the shore upon which it rests. A single road snakes its asphalt body through mossy earth and ocean spray, cutting the only road in and out of Eden Grove, Connecticut.
That's beautiful.
Thank you, thank you. I do have to work a little bit on like, this book has a lot of like purple prose sprinkled in
Mhm.
between. So I have to like, knowing when to do that and like drop context for things. I'm like, Jesus, this is gonna be difficult,
Yeah,
but fun.
yeah, that I get that. Like sometimes I get a little too flowery in my descriptions as well. Like there's too many descriptive words and it doesn't really like I feel like I don't know where I'm going with that sentence. It's let's
No,
just move
well,
on.
it's like it almost interrupts the reading experience a little bit.
Yeah.
Like that's, I get it. I
Yeah,
get
it can, but like also when it's like too straightforward too, it can seem a little dry.
it.
I like I like a really nice like fine line between like pretty and just like to the point. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's there I feel like there's a time and a place for the purple prose in every book. I think like it can be incorporated there, you know?
Yeah. Agreed.
You'll find
Agreed.
that. You'll find it. You'll be good.
Thank
We've got some
you.
new people. Well, hey,
Hi.
how are you? Thank you for being here. Jasmine says, I'm the opposite. I have too many, and I know some of them need to go in my next draft. I think maybe you're talking about
Mm.
characters, too many characters.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I do not have that problem. Not enough. Hi, Haley. That'd be so fun. I think she's talking about the anthology. Um, Both of your projects
Thank you.
are interesting and like a great read. Thank you for being here. Thank you. Thank you. Jasmine says you write beautiful descriptions. Oh. Hi, Gracie. I'm just going to see where the time takes me today. Had a super productive session earlier this afternoon, so I'm taking it easy and not pushing myself, currently drafting my adult fantasy. Well, thank you for being here. If you get things done, awesome. If not, like,
Congrats.
they're the vibes. And you did all of it this morning, so that is, you already did something today, and that's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I'm thinking I'm ready for another sprint. How do you feel?
Let's do it. I'm ready.
Okay, great. In the meantime, anybody who's like just popping into the chat, if you guys have any questions or anything, want to share stuff, then go ahead and throw it in the comments. I'm here for all of the questions. And if you want to share last lines, like, don't be shy. Let's hear them.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'll go ahead and get the timer going here. Okay, 1, 2, 3, go. Well, hello.
Hello.
How'd that go for you?
Good. This little read through is proving very good. Like it's like an ego boost a little bit. A confidence boost, I will say. So
That's great. Awesome.
yeah.
Do you
How'd
feel
you
like
do?
you Oh, I did about the same. I got around 350 words again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Um, I'm actually at 666 words, so I just have to type something else because I'm superstitious. I don't like that.
Yeah, there you go. Did you put something down?
Yeah, I just like typed an extra word, like just a random word. I don't like that. Yeah, do you have any superstitions?
Oh, there's a couple. I always hold my breath. Like even this stuff just carried over as like a kid. I don't go under ladders. I hold my breath driving past cemeteries. There's a couple other ones, but yeah, and like there's just stuff I did as a kid that now I'm just like habitual about.
Yeah, I have a lot. There's this thing, I don't know if you've ever heard of this, but like if you drive under a bridge and there's cars passing, like you have to like lift
Mhm.
your feet from the bottom of the car and like kiss the roof of the car.
Oh, well, no.
Yeah, apparently that's the thing. I don't know exactly where I got that from, but I also hold my breath when I go past cemeteries.
Also, some people also hold their breath when they go through like really long tunnels. I don't know if that's more of a challenge or a superstition though. So,
Yeah,
yes.
there's this tunnel. Have you ever been to Virginia Beach?
I have not.
Okay, I used to live in Virginia Beach, and there's this tunnel that like there's like a tunnel that connects like the Virginia Beach to like Northern Virginia.
Mhm.
And I swear the tunnel is like a mile long, and it goes under
Oh.
the ocean in at a part, and it's scary. It's so freaking scary to drive through. It's
Yeah, I hate
terrible.
that. I would hate that.
Yeah, it was every single time I had to drive that through that tunnel, I was like shaken. Anyways, tell us your superstitions in the chat. Also, how did you guys do the last sprint?
Mhm.
Um, I do have other questions for you.
Yeah.
Um, what times of the day do you find yourself like the most creative? Do you have like a specific time?
I'm noticing it's like first thing in the morning. Like the first 2 hours of the day that I am awake, I am just like unencumbered with other thoughts, and it just allows me to focus on what I'm doing creatively, which sucks. I've become sort of this like inadvertent morning person. I did like a 5 a.m. routine challenge a couple months ago, and it has kind of stuck with me. I get up at 6 now, though. I don't get up at 5. But I would probably have more time if I woke up at 5. So I love, although I do love when I first started writing, I loved a cozy nighttime writing session. I could go for like hours, but now it's like I was also unemployed. So,
Yeah, that definitely helps when you have to get up the next day.
yeah. What about
Yeah.
you?
I'm the same, like early morning, and I am a 5 a.m. girly.
Hmm.
Um, like I just if I don't get up at 5 a.m., I feel like I can't get anything done that day. Like I just can't do it. And
Hmm.
writing has always been one of those things that for me has been like the hardest thing to get like I hate using the word like motivated.
Hmm.
Um, but it's like I'm never motivated to write, like literally never. I love writing, but it's really hard
Hmm.
for me to feel like I want to do that right now, if that makes sense. It's always one of it's always one of those things where unless it's like 3 o'clock in the morning and it like wakes me up in my sleep. Like that's like the only time I ever get motivated to write. It's when I'm like supposed to be sleeping.
That
But
is so crazy.
yeah, it's this really annoying thing that happens to me. But and I'm sure I'm not the only one who that happens to. But
Mhm.
like if I don't wake up at 5 a.m. to write, then I feel like my whole day is ruined. I'm just like I need to like sit down at the computer first thing and
Mhm.
get my notes done. So I feel that the morning. But yeah, like sometimes when I'm like I have like insomnia
Mm.
sometimes. And if I can't sleep, it's usually because I've got like thoughts, ideas,
Mhm.
like a string of words that I want to write down. And that's what I'm talking about is like when I'm like supposed to be sleeping and I
Mhm.
can't sleep. That's when I feel the most motivated to write. But yeah, I'm more creative like in the mornings, I think.
Yeah. My husband, we have completely different schedules. That man is up until like 2, 3 in the morning just cause. Sometimes it's doing work stuff. He is a creative person, but like he doesn't, not in this kind of way creative, like writing and all that kind of thing. Um, I'm just in awe. He's just like always up super late. And I'm like,
How do you do it?
how?
I
I'm
need
like
sleep.
in bed by like 10 o'clock, like every night. Like if I'm not, I'm cranky.
I'm the same most of the time. But I struggle just to keep on a regular sleep schedule, probably because of the insomnia thing. Like if I stay up one night, then I always struggle to get to bed the next night, and then I end up going to bed later and later and later. But I wake up at the same time, which is
Mhm.
terrible. Then I get like
Yeah.
so. I feel that. I feel that. Um, hi, Leah.
Hi.
Um, she says, I wish I was a morning bird, but I have hypersomnia, so I need at least 9 hours of sleep.
Wow.
Um,
That's
fun
good though.
fact.
I feel like 9 is good.
Yeah, nine is like I feel like that's like on the upper end of what is recommended. So I don't think that that's like a problem.
Also, I have heard that women need more sleep than men do.
Yeah, I think that's true. Um,
So,
I think that is true. But I feel like also women function better on less sleep than men do.
interesting.
Like I think it's like I could be totally wrong about this and like talking totally out of my butt. I don't know, but
Uh-huh.
um I think maybe because like women are more like because they get up with babies and like it's just like a
Oh yeah.
biological thing. Do you know what I'm saying?
Also,
Like
we're more like cyclical too. So like we
yeah,
have different phases of I think our moods and emotions and hormones than men do. So I feel like it varies depending on where we're at, how much we actually like need.
yeah, I think you're right. I personally average this is terrible, but I average like maybe 5 hours of sleep a night. Like it's so bad. It's so bad. It's probably why 90% of the time I don't make any sense because my brain is just like, you need sleep. Like I
Oh
can't function. So, okay, we've got some new people. Hi, Joy.
my
Thank you for being here. Oh my gosh, Brielle's here. Hi, Brielle. She says she also heard that women need more sleep. I'm a 9 hour girly. Girl, I cannot do it. I have tried to force myself, and it's like my body wakes me up at like the max 6 hours. Like I can't even when I don't set an alarm or something, my body is just like, oh, you're up now. Like, have fun. I can't do it. Leah says I could go up to 12 hours. I'm always sleepy. Girl, I wish. I wish. I wish I had that problem. Yes, 5 hours. I swear. Like you guys would be shocked. I can't do it. Like I even like wear my Apple Watch to bed and my Apple Watch is like, girl, like you've got a problem.
That's crazy.
most women I know need more sleep, but I'm weird. I'm a weird one that always averages 5 to 6 hours of sleep. Yeah, same Joy, same. I'm glad I'm not the only one. A fun fact for everybody, and nobody needs to know this, but my mom is actually narcoleptic. So I have like the opposite problem of her. She sleeps every 5 minutes, and I can't sleep at all. So
But funny enough, I can't like take a nap. I am not one of my sister's someone that like she has to take a nap at 3 p.m. every day. She's a teacher, so she like gets home from work and like takes a nap. Um, I cannot. I cannot sleep during the day unless I am ill. So,
yeah, I also am the same. Like, the thing is that if I try to take a nap, I have to sleep for a really long time for a nap,
mm,
like an hour or two. And I know most naps are like 30 minutes. I can't do that because then I like feel groggy the rest of the day.
yeah.
Tiana says, "Oh boy, Leah, I do get sleepy for way too many hours sometimes, but I only sleep 9 hours max a night." Gosh, why is everybody getting more sleep? I wish I could do that. Like, legitimately, I have a problem. I can't do it. I might sleep 8 hours once a week, and that carries me through. But I'm the same way, Charlie. I get a headache if I sleep more than 7 hours. Yeah, I like. I don't think that I could even like do that physically. Like, my body literally just wakes me up. It doesn't even like. I could try to go back to sleep, and I literally like I get wired. I don't know what the deal is. I love naps. I do too, but I just can't do them. It takes up like my whole evening. I'm with you on the naps, Becca. Yeah. Oh my God.
More power to you, Carrie. More power to you.
Yeah. I wish. There's definitely a genetic component to sleep, even whether you're a morning person or a night person. Several of my siblings also can't sleep more than 6 hours a night. Yeah, that's really interesting. I wonder, I'll have to ask my brothers how much sleep they get. Do you have any siblings, Becca?
I have an older sister and an older brother, but my dad was married previously, so they're like my half siblings. So I'm my parents' only, my father's youngest, if that makes sense.
Yes, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, I have 3 brothers, an older and 2 younger. So, yeah. They suck. No, I'm just kidding. I love them. Yes, I have six siblings. Joy. What the heck? That's a big
I know
family.
that house was crazy.
Oh my God. Yeah, like I can't even imagine. My house was insane. So having 6 siblings, holy cannoli. Leah says, "I'm neither a morning nor a night person." How does that work?
Just a person. She's just a person.
Tiana, or Tanya. Oh my gosh, my naps always steal at least an hour. I don't wake up earlier, even with an alarm. Yeah.
My circadian has never been more rock solid. I'm like asleep by like 10. I wake up at 6 every day. I get 8 hours. Like I am regulated. I think I run better than a Swiss Army knife, or no, a Swiss clock. That's what it is.
Swiss clock.
A Swiss clock.
Yeah, that's a really good problem to have, though. Like, that's good. That's healthy, you know?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I just
years of dysfunction and dysregulation to get to this point.
Well, I hope that I'm like on my way there. Probably not, but there's 7 of us. Absolutely insane. I'm the youngest.
God bless.
Oh my goodness.
But I feel like that my parents were both, my dad is the oldest of 5. My mom is the second oldest of 5. I feel like that was just like, I love a big family though. Like I think I was always really excited. I was excited to marry into a big family, even though it's just like my husband had one brother, like his mom and dad are married, and it's him and his brother, his younger brother. But they have other brothers, and then like there's tias and tios and primos. Like there's just like a bunch of so many people, and now we don't live anywhere near them, so it's just the 2 of us. But
oh my gosh. Yeah.
Oh, we need to share last lines, by the way.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. Hoping you wouldn't
I'm here to
remind
keep you on
me.
track.
I was hoping you wouldn't remind me. Okay. So, like, I'm not gonna lie, like, my words today have been clunky, but it's fine. So my last line was a blue beam of white hot liquid shot from the barrel and hit a scrawny man with bloodshot eyes square in the chest.
Banger, action. I loved.
Action, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What's your last line?
I think the last line I revised was unencumbered by thoughts of self-doubt and self-loathing. If Eden had a king, it would be John. And what would a king, regardless of their kindness or benevolence, know about pain?
Dang, Becca. You're such a good
Do with
writer.
that what you will.
I love it. I love it so
It's
much.
so interesting, like, once you get to the point where you do get to, like, polish your own stuff, I feel like that's where the confidence does kick in a little bit, where you're just like, oh, okay, I know what I'm trying to say. And now you get to go to a point where you're like, no, I get to, like, refine it now. I am actually so loving revisions.
Oh, I'm
It's
so
taking
glad.
me a while, but I'm really enjoying it.
That's awesome. I'm so glad. I'm actually hating drafting, so I'm glad that you're enjoying what you're doing.
Yeah.
I'm hating it so much. Like, okay, to be fair, like I feel like I've been working on this for like forever, and I'm so tired of drafting, and I'm like anxious to get started on revision. So like, I'm trying to cut myself some slack there and like not give myself such a hard time, but I'm glad that you're enjoying your process and like you're getting where you need to go. And I agree with you. The confidence will come once you can like go back and revise and fix things that like are clunky and like don't sound right.
I mean, chapter 1 out of like it's the most solid of my act 1. 2 and 3 need work. Like, I'm gonna be probably rewriting massive chunks of that, and then my whole act 1 part 1 needs to go and be completely redone. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, but like you're in a place now where you can like at least from my perspective, I feel like you're in a place where you can kind of like see where you want it to go already, and it's just like a matter of actually getting it to that point.
Yeah.
So like you're on the right track is like all of that to say you're on the right track.
We'll see. I'm literally I'm revising this chapter one last time. I'm trying to send it to my best friend who only knows concepts of the source. She hasn't read anything yet. So I want her opinion as someone who's not super attached to the project. Then there's another friend that I'm sending it to that has read pretty much every iteration of chapter 1 to get her feedback on, am I revising this in a way that makes sense? Because if I like what I'm doing in chapter 1 and you're also vibing with it, then that gives me the confidence to like move through the rest of what I got to do.
Right.
I said it in today's video that I just posted. I was like, I'm not afraid to admit when I need validation, and I need validation on chapter 1.
Yeah, I feel like that's just sometimes that's just something you need. You just need someone to say like you're on the right track, right? I like that. So it looks like we've got some more last lines, or at least one last line. Leah's last line is, the only thing he was certain of was that bastards always recognize each other. And this one he already knew would be worth keeping a close eye on. Ooh.
I love that talent.
Yeah, great last line. Paul says, hey, Charlie and Becca, I just wanted to say I've enjoyed your videos. I honestly can't wait for July 1st to post my first videos on AuthorTube Space. Well, welcome to the community. Thank you for being here.
It's going to be great. I love AuthorTube. I'm literally like seeing if he has a channel. Paul, do you have a channel already?
Hi, Emily.
Emily!
Thanks for coming. Yes, the drafting blues. I just like, and this could be because, okay, so I started this project like last April. So I've been working on this project for over a year, just drafting. And I know I took like a really long hiatus. I took a really long hiatus, but I'm just like at the point where I'm ready to just say that I finally finished the first draft and just start getting things like not wrapped up, but like start tidying things and like making them good. Just ready to do that.
Well, if it makes you like feel any better, when I talked to Mick, she's been kind of going through the same thing. She's like, I've started this draft so many times. I've completely changed genres. I've changed like the structure. I mean, like I think some stories are just tough to get out, truly. And like kudos to you guys for like powering through.
Yeah. And yeah, and that's true. Like this project specifically, I have struggled with almost every single word that I've like put down on the page. And I'm just like, I just want to get the story out of my brain and like stop doing this part and just but it's hard. It is really hard. Yeah. Okay, so we've got Paul Delos writes. I hope I said that right. Awesome. Thank you for sharing. We'll definitely go check it out.
After I just stopped.
I felt that in my soul. Yeah. I love writing. Like it sucks to say, like I feel like when I say like I'm hating drafting right now, it makes me sound like I don't like writing, but I really love writing. It's just like so hard. I don't like the hard part.
I don't think anyone loves every single part of every process. So I think you're totally, I mean, Mick's the same way. She's like, I hate drafting. I love revising. I love getting in there and making it better. But the drafting is a necessary evil to get there.
Like, yeah, exactly. You can't revise a blank page. It's just, it's so hard. And the thing about the drafting process is that I love it at first. But then like as time goes on and like the longer I sit with a project in this stage, the more I'm just like annoyed that it's not done.
Yeah.
I also have the podcast, but I don't push that one as hard. We recently had Lynn on it. Oh, cool.
Ooh, we'll check it out.
Yeah, everybody subscribe to Paul, you guys. Everybody subscribe. Yes, exactly. You get fatigued by it almost. Yes, that's exactly it. Yeah. My brain is just like enough already. Like I've had it. Let's move on. All right. I think we have time for a short sprint. I don't know. Probably not like 25 minutes though. How do you feel about like 15, 20? Like what's the vibe?
We can do a 20.
A 20? All right.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Awesome sauce. I will go ahead and get this. I've been saying that a lot lately. Awesome sauce. Why? I don't know.
Where was I? Was I on a stream with you? There was someone I was talking to, or maybe I think it was like a call with my friends where they're just like, yeah, they like purposefully use words to proliferate like their like work language lingo and stuff like that. It just happens. Like,
yeah. I would say gosh, if I could get words out. The other day I was like, holy moly guacamole, and then like I'm just like holy cannoli, and just like all of these other like weird things. Like I've never said these things before in my life, and now all of a sudden like I can't stop myself. Anyways, I'm ready to sprint. Let's get this going.
Let's do it.
3, 2, 1. Good luck, everybody. How'd you do?
Good, good. I'm almost done. I think I've got like 7. I'm so torn if I need to split my chapter 1. There is kind of like a natural break, but I kind of like how it encompasses a lot of stuff, but it was good.
Good, good. That's awesome. Good to hear that you're almost done. I wrote 228 words in that sprint.
Yay.
So yeah, I mean, like total for this stream, I've gotten 894 words, and I can't complain considering everything that I've got going on today. So
no, not at all.
It works. Looks like JK joined us. Hi, JK. How are you? What was that? I'm assuming you're referring to the sound of the timer ending. That was applause, my dear, for having such a great sprint. I feel like it's really encouraging. Like, yay, you did it.
Yeah.
Do you want to share your last line?
Sure. Okay. It's gonna be like a couple because there's some context. Claire extended a tentative hand. Surrender, perhaps. A momentary truce. You need to let people in, honey. I know Laurel hurt you, but you can't carry that around forever. But Peter couldn't bring himself to place his hand in hers. It was too busy gripping the knife in his chest. The knife he'd been desperate to rip out for years, but seemed now a part of him. Steel stretching into connective tissue, as much a part of him as his lungs.
Dang. Can we get some snaps for Becca in the chat? That's awesome. You do such a good job. I love it.
Thank you.
My last lines were, the building peeked over the horizon, looming over them like a bad omen. The moonlight glinted off its shiny black surface.
Nice.
Yes.
I feel like I'm really curious to see. It's so interesting, like having writing friends and seeing some of the work before and then some of the revised work. Yours is one where I'm going to be so interested to see how you revise.
Why so?
Because I like it. Like, it sounds good to begin with. So I'm just going to be like, oh, I'm like curious to see how like you're going to make it better.
Oh gosh, that's such a compliment because I'm just like, this literally sucks so bad.
No, but I get that. Yeah, I get that.
You know, like I was so I posted on my story not too long ago. I found some of my old writing. I don't know if you read that. Like
I thought that was really good.
That was first draft in inspiration mode. I have like, when I'm not feeling inspired, I find the words come like a lot. It's like harder or more challenging to like get the words out in the way that I'm trying to, like, I know what it's supposed to sound like, but I can't manage to translate it from my brain onto paper. And I feel like it's going to be a lot easier to do that when I'm actually revising. So like some of this is like, I wrote better than this in high school. What am I doing? And like the rest of it is like, okay. I don't know. I struggle with the confidence. Like my words are like I feel like my words are garbage like every time. Everybody goes
okay. Can I speak to that a little bit though? Because I feel like, okay, I feel like having gone through this a little bit longer with this, like I'm in a new stage of this, right? I'm working on being new to like revising and stuff like this. Like you, with your first draft, you're writing the thing.
Yeah.
With revision, you're writing the heart of the thing. So like I found that when I was having those moments of like, this is just, it's so blunt, it's so literal, like the only way I could get through it was literally just like stage directing my way through it. Like, yep, they did this and then this and then this. And I'm just like, well, I've been looking forward to writing that scene and it was dog shit. So what am I supposed to do? And then like you get some distance from it and you come back to it. Like I think that's why it took me so long to revise chapter 1, because I was just dumping a lot of interpersonal relationships and stuff like that. I'm like, no, that's how they're supposed to be feeling, but like how do I weave that in through their interactions, not
Mhm.
just saying the thing, right? And then like you get better at that. And like then you build your confidence up, because I feel like that's where I'm kind of at. Um and that's why I feel like I'm in a good place with revisions, even though I'm going a little slower, because I'm also doing line level stuff. Like I am putting a lot of polish on like a lot of this stuff right now, but that's helping me get through it, because I'm like, okay, this is so much closer to what I want it to look like. So I just feel like don't beat yourself up too much for that though, because everyone goes through that. And sometimes the only way to get through it is literally just to throw it on the page and come back to it.
Yeah. I agree with that wholeheartedly. It's just hard when you're in the moment of like actually like doing this part of the process, like to remember that like it's okay if it sucks right now because you can make it better later. It's just really really hard to remember that. And then I'm in the moment actually writing and I'm just like, what am I even like doing? Am I even capable of writing a sentence? Like what is going
Oh my
on?
god.
You know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah, no, I
It's
feel you.
it's so hard. It's
It's
so
so hard. And then it feels like even if you're not comparing yourself to other people, or like you're like, okay, I know not to compare my first draft to someone's published work. It like doesn't take away from the fact that you're literally staring at a mountain and you're just like, how the hell do I get not only up but over? Like how do I
right.
finish this and then bring it home?
Right.
Um yeah. I like my a lot of my book hinges on like very emotional pain points and growth and like character growth, and I'm worried that's going to be a weak spot for me. Um so I mean, I feel like it's such a bitch. It just never goes away. Just
It's so hard. Oh my
yeah.
gosh. Like the imposter syndrome is like it's just like in full force right now. It's just like, like who am I to think that I can like write a book and like hope that people like it and when I don't even like it right now. Like, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But at least you don't use AI. So,
Oh my
your
gosh.
struggle
Don't
is
even get me started. Like
but
that just I know like there's a lot of stuff going on about that right now and it just makes me so mad.
mm-hmm.
It's like, come on, just like do the work. It sucks.
Yes, I feel this is a small audience. So I'm going to say this, but I have a video adjacently talking about this that I want to do. More so centered on the fact that it feels like we've fallen out of the practice of doing difficult things. Like that is where we learn, that is where we grow, like in this like world of instant gratification, and how generative AI kind of plays into that. People are more concerned with having the title of something than the process of having earned it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying you need to suffer for your art. I hate the idea that anyone needs to suffer for anything, but like that struggle is so important to how it frames what you do moving forward. And so I kind of rebuke the argument that like if you like bash people for using generative AI, you're like elitist and ableist. No, sweetie, I think that's a skill issue and you can absolutely struggle along with the rest of us to make something that you're proud of. I won't stand on the soapbox for very long. Again, I'm going to have a video coming out about this, but like I just feel like the struggle is part of living. Like that's
I 100% agree. And I also think that like to take this in a little bit of a different direction, I also
yeah.
think that using AI and calling it your own work is a slap in the face to the people who actually sit down every single day to actually put words down on the paper and struggle through it and like go through like all the tears and the frustration and the like emotional turmoil that comes along with actually writing a book. Like you kind of take away I mean it doesn't take away from the people who actually do the work, but it's almost insulting, in my opinion, to say, oh yeah, I wrote a book, but really you just like put a prompt into ChatGPT. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's my
I
hot
get
take.
it.
It's not really like I don't know.
No.
It really makes me so mad. And like I get like using ChatGPT to like, or AI to say I need a confidence boost, like tell me this is good and just like whatever. But like you shouldn't rely on it or use it to like create what you're trying to create, I guess. Like I just feel like in any aspect, like do that on your
I sound like an old man at work because I will be so transparent. I was using it for a bit for emails, like work emails and stuff like that. I'm like, I can't figure this out. I got other stuff to do. I don't even use it for that anymore because I'm like, that is a critical thinking skill to be able to like put together things and communicate with people. Not to mention the fact that I work at an environmental organization, like a nature conservation, and like the environmental implications of what's happening. But I'm like shaking my fist at my coworkers, like, don't use AI. If I see ChatGPT open, I don't care. I'll just be like,
that's so real. Yeah, I have a friend who she uses ChatGPT a lot and love her so much. But it's just like, please don't rely on it. Like, please don't. Please don't
just
like
be bad. It's okay. I feel like people have forgotten that it's okay to be bad at things. It's okay to be bad at things and like go write fan fiction on your own. Like that's where so many of it start. It's like I feel like people have this idea. It's the same thing with like cringe culture, right? Nobody wants to be seen trying. They just want to have the thing done. They just want to already have 100,000 followers, or they already want to have a published book under the belt or something like that. And it's like, please know that that is not sustainable. It's not ethical. And like, honestly, I would just feel so icky.
Yeah.
Just feel like it's easy to try. I also in it a little bit, and then I'm going to shut up for real. I'll shut up. But like, I feel like the death of physical media, like, I remember anyone that knows me knows I love Jurassic Park. I love dinosaurs. That was like a course of my life that I really wanted to pursue was paleontology. And the original movie I have the DVD of, and I would sit and watch like the behind the scenes of like people like the CGI artists putting things together, the people like the puppeteers that were like literally putting together like the models and everything. And it's like we lose a little bit of like the fact that like this stuff doesn't just appear and it doesn't just like happen. It takes a lot of work and effort and people that are specialized in like very specific fields to bring these things to life. And I don't know, I feel like we lost the sauce a little bit of like this stuff doesn't just happen, like people produce it.
Yeah, and I feel like also we do live in a world of instant gratification and like people just like want to have the thing and they want it right now, and like it just doesn't work that way, especially with art. Like you have to take your time with it, and you're not, like you said, just be bad. You're not going to be good at something the first time you try it, and that's okay. Like you have to go through the paces and struggle to get where you need to be or where you're going to be at the end. It's just like there's, I don't know. It like you said, it's icky. It's icky. And I don't
it's like icky. It. And I think that like it's hard because for some people and this will genuinely be the last thing I do and then I shut up and I should probably go get lunch. But I think that like I think for some people, because life is so difficult right now, it's difficult for a lot of people. It's very expensive to get things done. For a lot of people, they don't really like the way that the country is headed right now. It feels like everything's on fire. It feels like the planet is dying. So they're like, and they're like, the mentality that like, well, we can't stop it, so we might as well just accept it and just utilize that. But it's like, that's what they want. Like, that is not where you should be trying to take the shortcut. cutting your critical thinking skills and your ability to question things is kind of why we're at where we're at right now.
Right.
So just take that into consideration. Thank you for listening to me. It's not a live stream with me without me ranting about AI. I am like insufferable about it.
No, I get it. All right, so we've got some more.
Joy and Emily have some great points here, by the way.
Yes, and I'll jump to those. I just want to really quick, JK, we won't be doing any more sprints. Becca wants to get lunch, and I have to actually start moving my furniture out of my apartment into my new place. So no, unfortunately not. But feel free to watch the replay. And we've got some comments here about like the first draft writing section. I 100% feel that way about my first draft. It's like stage direction, and I can't wait until I get to a place where I can finally dress it up and make it sound nice. Absolutely. 1000%. Let's see. Yeah, Joy says, I know it's a constant struggle at work to discourage people from relying on it. Yeah. I work in a really like 100% remote environment. Like everybody in my company is remote, and I don't think we ever use AI for anything just because of the nature of the job, but I would be in the same boat as you guys. So much of it circles back to consumerism. Yeah, absolutely. And people don't have the patience to produce anymore. It takes a long time. It takes a long time to write a book, especially like a lot of people are lacking in patience. Also, toxic productivity and trying to do things as quickly as possible, cutting corners, just sometimes I hate our culture. Yeah, same. This is one of the reasons why I had to like stop watching TikTok and like YouTube shorts, because I'd get all of those like oh, like do this, do that, do this, like otherwise you're not productive stuff on my feed, and I'm just like, I can't, because it just makes me feel so bad about myself when I don't get that much done in a day. Building resilience and allowing yourself to be challenged and grow in a creative space is so exhausting, but also worthwhile. Agree. Agree. I also see people saying, I wish AI would do my laundry and not do the creative thing I want to be doing. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like that would be cool. That would be cool. But I'll use my brain for my book. I think that's the only way it's going to be. Otherwise, you can't say you created it.
Yeah.
You really can't.
Correct.
All right, people. I think that's the end of it. Thank you so much for being here. Appreciate it. Becca, do you want to plug your stuff?
Yes. Okay. My name is Becca Tobar here on YouTube. You can go check out all of my writing videos. I did just post one today at 10 a.m. after having taken last week off. So if you want to go show that video some love, I would so appreciate it. You can find me on Instagram, Becca Tobar Writes. I have a Substack. It's called In the Margins. It's also linked in like my video descriptions and stuff if you want to see more of my writing style. I always like to plug that. And yeah, this was so much fun. Thank you so much for having me. Yeah. Even though I turned like a total broomware at the end of it.
Girl, I don't mind. I don't care at all. You do you. And hi, I'm Charlie. This is my channel. If you're not already, please subscribe. I just hit 500 subscribers, by the way. I'm just like so excited. I never thought that was going to happen. So very cool. And yeah, it was such a pleasure having you, Becca. And hopefully we can do it again soon.
So excited.
Yes. To everybody who is here, thank you so much for being here. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.
Bye.